And welcome. It is now Tuesday. It looks like this week is going to be moving fast, folks. Already Wednesday, tomorrow. Now let's take a look outside where we're seeing, once again, some clouds moving into the air. Now, this is high level stuff, above 12,000 feet. So it won't have a lot of effect on temperatures, but as long as it's overhead, we will see a little influence there. But it's still going to be cold tonight, just not as cold as we've seen lately. And that view from Sinlot Broadcasting on Texas Street. Let's go to our friends in Leesville. Hello to you folks in Vernon Parish. We love all you guys over there. And thanks for your support for Sinlot weather. We're in the low 40s, and we see the same clouds in that direction as well. In fact, we're seeing it all over Sinlot as we go to LaSalle Parish. You folks are reported to us also as we see the high clouds, again, over 12,000 feet above the surface. So coming up, I'll be talking about these things. First of all, an attempt to warm up. Yeah, it'll be brief, but there won't be much to it. Another cold weekend in store. We know about that. And looking into February, what might happen, at least first half of the month. Got an outlook for you. Here's a little disturbance coming through the upper atmosphere there. These clouds, again, ahead of that, they're not going to produce any rain, sleet, snow, or anything like that. They're too high, over 12,000 feet above the surface. This is not the next cold front. It's still brewing back up, way up to the north. It'll be tapping some at least modified Arctic air. So, yep, another cold weekend, as I said, coming in to your 7-day forecast in just a bit. Futurecast on the near term, we continue to see your commutes being quite cold in the morning. It's not as cold as it was this morning. We averaged about 17, 18 degrees across central Louisiana. We'll be in the 20s tonight and in the morning. So, but that's cold enough for me. And then going into your Futurecast for your commute back home in the evening, no issues. It'll be a nice evening, dry, but still kind of cool, but not as chilly as today. Thursday morning, still cold. We'll see some clouds in the forecast there as well, mostly high and mid-level stuff. So a Futurecast bringing in another slug of cold air. You see this dip right here. I mean, this is warm bubble of air, cold bubble of air. So a cold bubble dips southward once again. When it does that and how it does it and where we're at in relation to it all determines how hard we get hit by the cold air. This one is going to be pretty direct, but some of the source region is not as cold as some of the previous ones. So I don't think we're going to drop any lower than what we've seen, but it's going to be close. It'd be similar, okay, with that kind of pattern. And then notice how it kind of moves off to the east. And depending on the timing of this and the location, could mean a storm for the east coast. All right, looking back to the west in our neck of the woods, we see once again kind of a weak troughing here, a dip in the jet stream, if you will. That again coaxes moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and we're optimistic that we may see some rain chances right at the very end of the 7-day forecast, and then maybe going forward after that a little bit. So here are your 7-day numbers. Another cold start, 26, but we've been worse than that. So I'll just say not as cold. 52 for your high, mostly sunny day. Nice day on Wednesday there. 28 low Thursday, even warmer, 58 degrees. That's the attempt at a warm up, and it's brief and not strong, but it's there before the thermometers get knocked back down on Friday as the first surge of the front comes through, telegraphed for now. I like to use that term from a distance. So we stay in the 30s and 40s for the most part that day. And right now, I had some rain in the forecast, but it just seemed to have evaporated. And I went ahead and took it out. The National Weather Service also did. So I'm on good footing there. All right, for the weekend, here are your cold temperatures, 25 and 35 for Saturday. Remember, these are averages. Some of you will be higher than this, some of you a little lower. And then Sunday, chilly day, a little bit milder in the afternoon, if you want to use that term, 7 degrees higher. But another very cold morning Sunday. There will be teens. That's a hard, severe freeze there for Sunday. A dry weekend, though, and then still dry on Monday. And I did put 20% in the PM on Tuesday, out of respect for that energy to the west, maybe opening up the Gulf for us a little bit. And you see a little warming trend kicking in there. by next Tuesday. So don't go anywhere. I got your February outlook. All right, so I'll be brief with this. A very large area of warm back off to the west of us. Cold to the east. Just a split personality here for the United States. Warm west, cold east. We're in the middle, and so near normal temperatures. And for SNLI, that means for this week of February 4 through 10, the average is 41 low, 62 high. This graphic says we'll be pretty close to that on most thermometers for an average for that week. Okay, precipitation outlook, rainfall and snowfall and all that kind of stuff. A large area of below precipitation expected all the way from the west into the middle of the country into the southeast. A little area of above in south and west Texas, and then near normal coming back up into our area. And for us, that means that by that week, that average should be around 9/10 of an inch. So kind of a 50-50 chance at that. So, all right, that's the 7-day outlook and the 8 to 14-day outlook peeking into February. Thanks for being with me. Again, thanks for your support for SNLI Weather. Nick Miklas is back in the morning, and I'll see you again during the PM hours, and I'll be in the forecast.